Hello, my name is Kayleigh Harding, and my book We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This book is a young adult romance and thriller novel. This book is about the Sinclair family. The Sinclair family was a very rich and smart family. Every family they kind of came by kind of judged them by how perfect they kind of acted all the time. So by a couple years of them being judged all the time, they just started getting into like a role, and they just started acting like everything actually was perfect. But underneath, they all had their little secrets that they kept and they didn't want anyone to know. The main character is Cadence Sinclair Eastman. In the beginning of the book, we know that her family is kind of very judgmental towards her all the time. Her mother and father get a divorce because the father doesn't like how everything is going. Cadence, during anything that she has to do that's very difficult for her, she has to suppress her emotions. She can't really show them to anyone because she'll be judged by anyone in her family if she really does show her emotions. So she kind of just suppresses all of her emotions until she kind of just has a mental breakdown. The main setting of this book is Beechwood Sinclair Family Island. They go there every summer. We learn that around summer 3, Cadence and her two cousins, Johnny and Marin, become very close, and they're always together and they're hanging out. And the Sinclair family doesn't really like that they're always together all the time. By summer 8, we have a new character. His name is Gat. He is just a family friend who comes every summer from there on out and becomes very close with Cadence, Marin, and Johnny. By the end of summer 8, they all become very close, and the family just decides to call them the Four Liars because they lied almost all summer about what they were doing, where they were at. So they just decided to call them the Four Liars. But the one summer that we kind of get the most information from is summer 15. That summer they kind of made a big plan that they were just going to ruin the whole family picture. They just didn't want anything to be the same. So they kind of burnt everything. They said, I don't want to be a part of this family, so we're going to get rid of anything and everything that makes everyone believe that we are perfect. But that kind of goes tragically wrong, and we don't really know any information until the very end of the book. We do know that Cadence was in the hospital for almost 2 months, and after she got out of the hospital, she didn't remember anything that happened over summer 15. Her mother decided that it wasn't a good idea for her to go back to the island for almost 2 full summers. So after 2 summers, she decides that it's finally time for her to go back to the island and decide if she really wants to know what happened or if she doesn't want anything at all. She doesn't want to know anything. So she goes back to the island and everything is different. She goes there and nothing is the same. Family members don't even show up to the island anymore. She just is completely lost without everyone. But at the end, we kind of learned that the tragedy that happened was very big, and the family just kind of broke off after that, and nothing was really the same. So if you want to know what happened, you need to read We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Something I really liked about this book is that it kind of kept you on edge the whole time. Every time you thought you finally got something right, you turn the page and everything is completely different than what you thought. And it was just like a very good book about keeping you on the edge. One thing that I did not like about this book, that it was split up into sections, and whenever the section was finally ended, it kind of didn't describe anything that was happening, so it just kind of made it confusing. One book that I really read like this was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and it's because she split it up into sections and made it kind of confusing about where she split it up, but by the end we kind of understood why she split it up that way. And that is the end of my video. Thank you.